Peace, y'all. We made it. Heard a I was scrolling. It was a real it was Katt Williams. I mentioned it in my last conversation. Katt Williams was doing an interview. He said having enough money, having enough money to be able to enjoy doing what was free. Along those lines, I might have messed that up, right? He said having enough money to be able to enjoy what's free. That's profound. I was just, coming into the new year, I was really just thinking, playing back, like, you have everyone has things that don't go in our favor, right? When when things don't go our way, that's not a reality of mine. For a lot of people, but I'm just speaking from my own experience. Having things go the way that you want them to go, all the time, right? That shouldn't make your mood, that shouldn't change your mood, okay? When you speak to someone and they don't speak back. When you're asking for something and the answer is no. All right. When someone doesn't, share your video, someone doesn't, like your video. When you tell when you tell the kids to do something and they don't necessarily they're not chipper about it, right? That shouldn't change your mood, right? You're in your own world, so to speak. Okay? Each person, each encounter, these are roles that the supporting actors and actresses are playing in your motion picture. Okay? When I hear when I hear someone that's not in the best of moods, okay, I get it. Some days, some days go smoother than others, right? And this is the mind. This is the mindset. Having a bad day is not an option. We don't have that option to have a bad day. Okay? That's the way that you're internalizing your abundance and you're looking at it from a place of lack, not not being aware of what it is that is happening real time. What it is that's manifesting in front of you at that particular moment. Okay? When the brother Katt Williams said in that interview, having enough money to enjoy what's free, the things in life that are free, that was profound when I what I took from that. Okay? It's like I say, learn to do more with less. You know, learn to be blessed without having to, without having to, make a movie about it. What I gathered from what the brother said, and it was profound, man. It moved me because, okay, let's examine that. Let's get into it. What did he mean? I didn't have a chance to ask him, right? But on one end, you take a celebrity, somebody of his status and stature, right, in what he's accomplished in comedy and in entertainment, right? The money, having the money may allow you to actually enjoy, smiling, right? It's different walks of life. I've had experiences different walks of life that smiling, actually, smiling like with showing your teeth and grinning and being basically showing that you're happy or you're enjoying life, right? That's not a part of the culture. Not necessarily laughing at a joke that's funny, or laughing at whatever, right? But actually smiling, like as a form of as an expression of affection and enjoyment and joy, right? Something God love, right? That is not what I gather from what the brother was saying. Is it made, having enough money to be able to do that, smiles is free, so to speak. Having air to breathe is free. Being able to walk and enjoy, the birds. I always bring up the birds. That's my thing. Be able to walk and, look at the birds do their thing. That's free. Doesn't cost anything. To be able to die, to have enough money to die, right? That's free. Doesn't cost anything to die. Having enough money to be able to enjoy the things that are free in life. That I just wanted to touch on that today. I mean, it's different levels that touches me on many levels. You take, he could have been saying, hey, I you without money, without having a certain amount of success, in terms of finances, right? That you're not able to enjoy the things that are free. He could have meant it that way, meaning if you're working, you're working at somewhere you don't want to work at, and you may be struggling, to make ends meet, that you can't enjoy the things that are free. He could have meant it that way. That's actually an interesting take, right? Or was he saying that the information is the information of having an abundance of money or financial freedom, that at the end of the night, you just want to enjoy. We all want the same thing that's free. We just want to smile and enjoy. We want to be able to look at our children, bump their head and smile. We want to jump in the puddles of water, muddy puddles with the kids, and smile and enjoy that interaction. We want to communicate that, have enough time to communicate that hug, and that, that kiss on the forehead, before, going to the schoolhouse, right? Or, just enjoy the dog rolling around in the grass and smiling, and, maybe, with being a millionaire, a billionaire, or being a negative millionaire and a negative billionaire, that those things that are free is what it's really about. That's what I gathered from, that profound statement. And it wasn't a joke. I don't even know. I'm gonna have to look that up. But that was worth doing a video on, because, yeah, I felt that, having enough money to be able to enjoy the things in life that are free. I've heard coming up, I like to enjoy the finer things in life. I like the finer things in life. As you grow and experience the world, the finer things in life, I believe your idea of it changes. Now, the elephant in the room is, these devices and these phones, right? Material things. Okay. I don't believe that there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with having nice things. The desire to be better than you were yesterday, that desire to be, of competition, competing with what you thought that you were ceiling that, right? Or you were limited to that, that's healthy. Nothing wrong with that, right? But competing against someone else, or what someone else is doing, or what he was called to do, like that's the disconnect. That's where we get disconnected. It's like we're in a time where, as though everybody has to be good at the same thing. That's not real. we're in a time. I'm in customer service. I deal with the people. I deal with the public. I deal with hands on, face to face with people. We're in a time where it's people. A lot of people. It's work to talk to each other. It's work to talk to each other. Imagine that. And when it doesn't matter the age, and then the skill has become communication. Whereas though it's so easy to really communicate. We communicate things in different ways. Everything is not verbal, right? But caring about, just caring about people, that's become a skill. That's a skill now, because you have a lot of people that really don't demonstrate. We don't have a lot of people that demonstrate that being something that is, I want to say, for lack of better words, cool to do. It's cool to care. It's cool to help out someone. Not to get caught up in, what everybody's, racial issues is, and what their preferences is, and what their religious is, and things like that. When you deal with it when you hands on and really in reality, the only help you're going to get is at the end of your arm, and that's high level understanding. In an earthquake, right? I would imagine. I've never been in one, right? In the rubble, and you need help, and you're through the arm. You might get your arm out to put your hand out to gather somebody's hand in their grip. That's the only help you got at the end of the day, bar none. What someone's religious is, or what their preference is, and what they identify in their race, and all that goes out the window at the end of the night, right? Help is free. Having enough money to be able to enjoy what was free. In other words, what that said to me, another way to look at it is, things come back full circle. It comes back to self. Doesn't matter how much money. We're not going anywhere until you deal with self. You got to deal with yourself. It starts with self. You understand? Yeah, man. And that thing is definitely, man, that was powerful, man. Shout out brother Katt Williams, man. That was fire, man. I don't know what that interview was. In layman's terms, you got people that will do anything for money. That'll sell their self, short for amount of money. You understand? And at the end of the day, if we're all looking for that fulfillment of happiness, I believe that people are looking for just to be happy in life. You understand? Whether it's happy in your marriage, or if it's happy in your career, if it's happy in your home, if it's happy just walking your dog, it's just, being happy is free. It doesn't cost anything. It really doesn't cost anything. That's a way to divide us, and that's a form of divide and conquer. You understand? So again, when we're on our journey, and just being, I call it being, optimistic. It's no, things don't have to go to your way for you to enjoy your day. If you got air to breathe, you can feed yourself, you can nourish your body, you got a safe place to lay your head. I think you're, that's what a win is. You're a winner. You understand? You might not have the boat. You might not have the. I don't think if you could swim well, you shouldn't be That's my personal, I would, if I couldn't swim, well, I'll stay away from boats, right? That's not a gauge. You don't measure a man. You don't measure a man by, you can't measure a man by material status or social status. Okay, that's not what a man is, or about the size of his bank account. That's not how you measure men, or how you measure success. Even success is internal. It's success is fulfillment. It's being happy. You understand? And I just wanted to touch on that. Shout out the brother, man. Again, man, Katt Williams, man. Having enough money to be able to enjoy what is free. Man, if I had a line on him, I would definitely have a conversation about it. What it was that what he meant about it. But man, that's not a double entendre. That's not a tip. That can go many ways. You could just go deeper and deeper and deeper down in that rabbit hole, because man, learning to do more, work with what you got, or learning to do more with less is definitely a superpower this day and age. You understand? But yeah, man, I hope everybody has a truly wonderful, great everything. I'm Drew. Peace.